I was sitting having breakfast with a couple Somali guys and Tyler Hicks, who works for the New York Times as a photographer, when we heard a huge boom, and the people around the breakfast table looked at each other and started calling across town to see what had happened. About 10 or 15 minutes later, we heard another explosion. Then we feared the worst. A hotel across town, maybe 2 or 3 miles away, was under attack. And this is one of the signature complex terrorist attacks that have become quite common in Mogadishu, where a terrorist group called Al-Shabaab detonates a large bomb in front of a target and then waits a few minutes and detonates a second bomb. We jumped into a truck, an armored truck, and went rushing with an escort of about 5 to 10 gunmen to a hospital where casualties began streaming in.
We have to wait until the incident is completely finished before we're able to go there?
Yeah, we'll have to wait until the special forces clear all the hotel.
We saw people badly wounded. We saw blood on the floors. We saw victims who were covered in fine powder of white concrete from the explosions, where walls had collapsed on them. There were large crowds of family members who were grieving outside. I spoke to one young Somali journalist, a freelance cameraman, who had been warned not to go to the scene of the bombing, and had went anyway because he said this was his livelihood. And he was lying in a hospital bed, his hands mittens of gauze, wounds all over his body, clearly in pain, and he had been one of the people who rushed to the first explosion, only to be felled by the second.
He was also trying to tell the other colleagues not to go to where the other car was, but 2 of them ignored and they went there, and just under 1 minute the explosion occurred.
I've covered many bombings in Somalia. I've been working here for the past 10 years. But what was really upsetting about this one is that this country has made great strides to distance itself from the violence and chaos of the recent past. And you can feel that there's a real struggle for the soul of this place, for people who are trying to resume a normal life.
Saying the head and the leg is okay, just the hand, just the X-ray.